Hey, 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 what's up? What's up? What's up? What's good in your world? Happy Wednesday. So good to connect with you. I am live in multiple places, multiple cameras all at once. How are you guys doing? How are you on this fine Wednesday? I have been missing connecting. I've been, believe me, connected plenty with a lot of folks in the various places that I am right now. But there's just something about this environment going live online with people all around the world and multiple countries, and I love it. I just really do. I really do love it. It's a whole different kind of energy field for me. So voila, what are you up to in the world? What's going on? Are you feeling inspired by summer? Or is the heat got you a little bit on the crazy side of life? Hopefully not too much. I'm really hoping that you're happy, healthy, vibrant, and yeah, doing your thing. I have just been teaching with some beautiful souls in a bunch of different countries. Um, what's up, Naman? Naman just posted that he just turned on Facebook and I'm live. He's like, it must be telepathy. Yeah, Naman, I'm sending out the vibes so people can tap in and tune in, even if you didn't think that you were a psychic person. Well, guess what? You are. We're all a little bit psychic, I think. So, what's good in your world? Tell me. I would love to hear what's up with you, really. Um, Seriously, like, how are y'all doing? How are you doing? Are you feeling good? Are you feeling motivated? Are you feeling excited? What's life like in your world? I have specifically created this space for today based on something that somebody requested. And that is, what do you do when you don't know what to do? That could be in your life, that could be in your business, that could be in your relationship. So that is what I want to chop up today. I've been there. I know what that feeling of indecision, when you just like, either you can't decide or you don't know what to do, there's too many choices, or it's just not clear. Like your path forward doesn't look clear, or your path forward may actually look scary. So we're going to talk about what to do when you feel that way, when you feel confused, conflicted, or just a little bit scared. So it's good to have some folks here live. What's up, Claire? Glad to have you here. One of the peeps from the weekend that I spent in London for the energy alignment method. Good to see you here. And what's up, Sinitra? So glad that you are tuning in. And yes, it is a great day, a great question. This is one of those things that we all go through it, right? Like we all literally go through those moments where we're like a little bit paralyzed. So hi, Mikola, lovely to have you here. And thank you for sharing this video with anyone else out there that you know needs a little bit of inspiration or guidance when they are, at this point in life where you just don't know what to do. What's up, Trevor? How are you enjoying the Côte d'Azur? Trevor has flown in. We just finished up Stories with Soul, which is our life writing course for new authors and some seasoned authors who are part of our book program. So it's good to have so many good people around. We've got some great energy going around this for this summer. It has been exceptionally warm here in the south of France, and it was pretty warm when we were in London as well. But you know what? I am soaking it up. I am soaking up the sun because that's what I need right now. I have needed the warmth and the vibrancy. So I'd love it if you would chime in. Let me know if there are any of you out there who do feel like you got a little confusion going on, or that you don't know what to do with your precious life essence. I've been talking a lot about this idea that I've been a little frustrated even myself. I'll just confess that right up front. Many of you know that I spent a few months in the United States. My beautiful daughter wanted to spend some time in the U.S. We've been living in France now for, it'll be 8 years in a month. It'll be 8 years that we've been on the French Riviera. And she has always said that she really wanted to spend time in America, that she might even go to university in America. And so we had this opportunity to get her into an art school. So we went, and she spent 6 months there attending this school, and I was there for most of it as well. But things didn't go exactly as planned. I'm not going to even get into the drama of that. But know this, I got over there and I had to unplug from work a little unexpectedly. Dropped everything, as we do for our little ones, and I found myself in the first month freaking out because I couldn't keep up certain work projects and commitments. I dropped interviews, I dropped my radio show, so there were a lot of things that I was kind of stressed out about. And in the very first, the first month, well, maybe the second month, my social media mistress of excellence, Sarah Brandis, was also working on her business. So I was like, oh my gosh, everything that I had rocking and rolling kind of came to a standstill. And there was this moment where I felt like, you know, a little bit of FOMO, like a fear of missing out on all the good stuff that I had normally been doing. And it freaked me out. I literally had a moment where I was thinking, oh no, what's going to happen to all of the momentum and my clients and whatnot. But after I finally let that go, because I could feel the anxiety like in my head, in my arms, in my back, in my jaw. I was like grinding my teeth at night. It was one of those things where I was like, okay, Dre, you got to practice what you preach. And so I did. I got back into my really rigorous regimen of getting up extra early in the morning, getting up at 5:30, doing my meditation, my qigong, my chanting, my prayers, so that I could center my energy. And then I finally got back to my state of calm, which is, for me, essential. And it was one of those times where I realized, okay, there's always a meaning to what's going on in our lives. Like, whatever we see in the outside world is generally a reflection of what's going on inside of us. And so I was feeling like there was all sorts of chaos and confusion and things that were like falling out of my grasp. And when I went within, I realized it was because I was grasping. I was trying to hold on to what was. And it gave me a moment to really say, okay, if I believe that I am always in a kind and loving universe, then whatever is going on in my world is showing me what I need to see in order to improve my life. So whatever I'm looking at, rather than judging it or judging myself, which is something I went into, I realized, okay, what's the lesson here? And as things started to just fall away, I mean, like I simply couldn't, I couldn't do 3 people's jobs all at once. So I finally just said, okay, well, that's just not going to get done. Sorry if you missed me on Instagram. That was one thing that didn't get done. But the other thing was I realized that I had been servicing the business in such a way that I wasn't always connected to my own vision. I was kind of just, I was in reaction mode. And it wasn't a bad thing because everything that I was doing was still in line with my heart and what I believe is my dharma. But I recognized it was an opportunity for me to look at what was on my plate or what I was trying to grasp onto and say, can I let this go? Should I let this go? might it actually be in my best interest to let this go? So I took a moment to really identify all of my business activities, even my client relationships. I ended up firing a client. Okay, I should say I ended up not renewing one of my clients. I realized, no, I don't want to keep going in this rushing, crazy pace. And that's okay. It allowed me to also reevaluate my business and make sure that I was going towards my ultimate vision and not just scrambling about. So what's up, Jat? I'm so glad that you're here. So Jat says, knowing that all the contrast is for you to grow, as painful as it may be, it wouldn't be happening if not needed. Got to keep the faith and keep aligned. Thank you, Jatinder. It is so true. And that is what today is about. It's about keeping the faith and keeping in alignment. So that's exactly what I said. I said to myself, it's time for me to make sure that my actions are aligned with my values. That was why I could not renew that client contract. I was like, this isn't lining up anymore. And I also wanted to make sure that it was aligned with my vision. So we've talked a lot here about visions and what, you're really up to in the world. But what happens if your vision is suddenly not clear, or if you're scared to take that step? What do you do? And it may not sound like very much fun, but what we do in that moment is let go and surrender. Now, usually life gets us to a point where we are forced to do that. That's what happened in my case. And it's not fun. And perfect timing, Margareta. How are you? One of the beautiful authors in one of our upcoming books. Margareta says, letting go is such a challenge when not knowing what the future holds. It's then so important to trust in the universe and knowing that all will be well. Thank you, Margareta. Hello, Jackie. It's good to have you here, Jacqueline. It's as though if we are willing to believe that the universe is a trustworthy and loving, benevolent and abundant universe, then we have to recognize that everything that comes up on our path is a part of our process and that it's okay, which means we've got to get out of judgment. And so for me, what held me up from seeing clearly was that I was still in judgment. I was still holding on, fixed to this one vision of how things should be. And when I got sort of knocked on my butt and had to really almost be still, I had to just surrender so that I could, first and foremost, in my physical body, not have that tension, not have that anxiety, not have that frustration. Because you know the saying, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. Have you ever heard that? I mean, it's true. If the mother of the household, if she's not in a good energy space, it affects everyone. And I learned that so early on as a mother, that I had to keep my energy straight so that everyone else that I come into contact with, especially my beloved daughter, if I want her to be happy, then I got to really make sure that I'm doing everything to manage my energy. And so I surrendered, I let go, and I took a step back and I said, okay, what do I need to do? What do I need to do right now to get either on track or to pick things up? If I want to pick things up and get back into alignment and feel good, then what am I going to do? It says card full. There's another one somewhere. Oh, here. Sorry, guys. We got two cameras working. So the question that I would say to you is, if you're going through one of those moments of a lack of clarity, the first thing to do is ask yourself, okay, is there something that I'm not willing to see here? Is there something that I am selectively being blind to? Because when we don't know what to do and we can't see our path clearly, there's a number of different causes, right? Okay, so let's just break them down one by one. So one reason for you not being able to see clearly what to do next is because your field of vision is limited. So for example, if you're just really focused on this one path, there's only one way to get to your destination, then you have what we call tunnel vision. You're only looking at that one pathway. And that's what was happening in my case. I was sort of fixed and locked on this one path, which means if you've got blinders on, you can't see to the left or the right, which means you can't see the full landscape. You can't even see the full opportunities, the places, the people that might actually need to be in your world. Okay? Because sometimes just because we're on a path and we feel like it came as an inspiration or an enlightened moment doesn't mean that we're supposed to be on that path forevs. You know, it may have been just getting you to that next step. So again, if the reason that you can't see what's in front of you, it's not clear, it may be that you're having limited vision. You've got tunnel vision. And so you ask yourself, am I purposefully blocking my vision? Am I, holding on to one fixed way of seeing things such that I'm not opening up my field of view? Does that make sense to y'all? Are y'all following me still? So that's one. So one way is that we just don't have a full field of view. The other one could be that things are just cloudy in front of us, meaning there could be some sort of obstacle or obstruction, some density that we just can't see that next right step. And, wasn't it the words of Martin Luther King Jr. that said, you don't even have to see the full staircase. You just need to see that next step in front of you. So sometimes we get into a situation where we don't even want to take a step unless we can see all of the path ahead going all the way to the mountaintop or wherever it is we're trying to get to. But sometimes you're not meant to see, because sometimes you might actually be scared if you could see all the way. And so sometimes we are meant to only see that next right step, and that's okay. So you just take only the next right step. And so when Jat was saying, it comes to this moment of having that faith, then we have to say, okay, I'm going to just take one step. Now, the question is, how do you choose which step to take? Now, I am a big, big believer in visions. I'm a big believer in kind of seeing the big picture for where I'm going in life. It's just part of my energy imprint. It's like what I'm into. But as Sinatra says, what happens if, things are cloudy or you can see, but things are a little bit blurred? Well, here's the next piece that I want to chop up with you. And that's this. If you're finding that things are a little cloudy, things are a little hazy, that you can't exactly even see the path, maybe even not that next one step, then I want you to start to tap into your feelings. So, Catherine, you might remember this when we were at Energy Alignment Method weekend, right? We talk about this energy alignment, and a big piece of that is getting aligned with feelings. So, some of you know that I am a partner in a business called Diamond Life Design. And my co-founder, Derry Llewellyn-Davies, created something called Diamond Life Design. And it's a diamond that helps you dial into the ultimate feelings that you want to experience in life. And you use your feelings as your guide. Because it's normal that sometimes you won't be able to rely on your vision, but you can always rely on your feelings. You know when your energy's a little tweaked. You know when you've got irritability or frustration or anger going on inside of you. And so what we have to come back to is really getting clear on, what do I want to feel? What are the ultimate feelings that I want to experience in my life? And only you can come up with those. So in the Diamond Life Design System, we literally look at each area of your life that's important, and then you write down and identify the feelings that you want to feel. So as it pertains to like my home environment, I want the ultimate feeling of peace. I want cleanliness and beauty. So those may sound like silly things, but as I'm currently looking to move into a new space, I don't know where we're going to end up. I know that we're going to have a beautiful view of the sea, but all I can do right now is really dial into the feelings, the feeling that I want to have when I'm in that new space. What are the feelings that you want to experience in your life? You can look at it in your relationships, at home, in your work, in other areas, in finances, in love. And as you tap into those feelings, then you might even go into the memory. When was the last time you felt those feelings? And what did you have to do to make that happen? What did you have to do to feel those feelings? Was it being in a certain place? Was it that you had done a certain amount of self-care? Were there other people around? What did you do to get yourself into that state? Because remembering it can help put you in a more resourceful state. And then once again, sometimes we have to take our eye away from this 3D reality, because if it's not lining up with an ultimate vision, or it's so cloudy, or it's even striking fear within us, then we have to stop looking out there and go within, right? So go within and identify the core feelings that you want to experience in these various areas of your life. And then it really comes down to, what are you going to do to take action? Nobody can do it for you. There comes a moment when certainly reach out to people that can help you. Look for that advice or that cheerleader who's going to stir you up. Or, as one of my mentees recently said, thank you for lovingly kicking me in the arse. Well, that's what I do as a mentor. So sometimes you do have some outside help. And if you can find someone who's truly aligned with your energy, who can see the vision that you hold for yourself and can, maintain that high vibration as you move toward your goals, then that is ideal. But if not, then you might have to go within. You might have to do some prayer, get up extra early in the morning to do meditation or do whatever ritual or prayer work is going to get you dialed in. Because we can't always expect that someone in the outside world is going to come save us. Sometimes you need to put up your little request to the Almighty, your higher power, however it is that you define that. There comes a moment where you've got to be willing to say, I need help, and show me that next step. And as you say to yourself, wow, I really want to feel freedom. I want to feel peace. I want to feel, excitement. Then you can ask yourself, what am I doing that's blocking that? Are there things that I am deliberately doing to sabotage my freedom, my flow, my peace? Because you can look over your life if you have the radical honesty that we talk about, in my programs. You've got to be honest with yourself, if with no one else, with yourself. You got to look at your stuff and say, am I the one sabotaging? And I know that may not sound very pretty, but that was one of the things that led me to start working on this Diamond Life Design thing. And for those of you that are already in the Diamond Life program with me, guess what? I'm just on a tangent, have to tell you. Derry and I are getting together in London. Oh gosh, I know the dates. I'm going to tell you the dates. We're getting together in London to do a Diamond Life Design. It's a free event, so all y'all with y'all excuses, come and see me. When is it? It will be around the 22nd of October. So you can tune in and find out how to live a diamond life. But it was really understanding that I don't like to live with regret. I don't like to live feeling like I am sabotaging my own progress. Because what I noticed was, hey Arvind, thank you for tuning in. You're welcome. Happy to share. What I noticed in my life, the turning point for me was when I started doing this certain coaching methodology that invites us to look over the last 12 months. Look over the last 12 months of your life, you know. And for those of you that are into New Year's resolutions, go back and look at your New Year's resolutions from last year. And did you accomplish them? Now, I don't know how that makes you feel when you don't, but it would bring up feelings of regret inside of me. And I got to a point where I was like, enough is enough. And so part of the system of accountability that I use and that I teach, it says, okay, you look at your life, you find out where you have fallen short, where you might have been disappointed with your own results, and you look for the lesson. You look for the why. It's not about pity parties. It's not about beating yourself up. Yes, you are going to take accountability for your stuff. It's about taking that responsibility for the life that we live. You know, it was the Buddha that said that every one of us is an heir to our actions. Our actions will bear fruit. That's what we inherit. So if there's some nasty stank fruit or the lack thereof in your life right now, then you need to go back and see what you have sown or where you failed to sow those seeds. So I looked at my life and identified those areas where I felt that twinge of regret, that twinge of irritability, like, Dre, what are you doing, girl? Like, get it together. And so part of the process is looking for the lessons. What are the lessons? Was I blaming someone else? Was I counting on someone else who was not trustworthy? Was I counting on myself but not dedicating enough time or resources? You know, for a lot of us, the area was in professional performance and in finances. And when a group of us started looking, holding each other accountable, you know, with a lot of love, it was like, okay, you said you wanted to have this amount of money in the bank at the end of the year. Why don't you have it? Some people weren't saving money. Some people were splurging and going out on little, you know, spending sprees. Some people did have legitimate emergencies that came up. But it's one of those moments when it was like, okay, if I don't want to feel this same regret next year, what am I going to do? So if you don't know what to do right now in your life, look at the ideal feelings that you want to experience. Look at the lessons you've learned in life. Like, all of the lessons are generally already here. Everything we need to take that next right step in our life is here. And if it's not super clear, then I'm going to tell you what one of my mentors told me. She said, girl, you know you can trust the universe. You know you can trust God. So rather than getting all stressed out and freaking out, she said, go paint your nails. So literally, this was one of my mentors who is this highly accomplished woman. And I'm looking at her like, did you just say that? She said, yes. Go paint your nails. Meaning, unplug from this frenetic crazy making. You know that there will be a solution. If you are a person of faith, if you are a believer, then you know. And so it means you've got to stop crazy making, right? Is this making sense, or am I just like pissing everybody off with the real talk? Well, hopefully it's not pissing you off. So Sinitra says, not accomplishing goals makes you feel regret and beat up on you. Well, don't beat up on yourself. You can take responsibility. acknowledge where you have fallen short of whatever that goal or that vision was. And then, exactly, what are the lessons? Why didn't you make good on those commitments? Why didn't you take those actions to reach your goals? Because you've got to look within yourself and find out, am I blocking or sabotaging my own success? Am I putting so much of my energy into other people and neglecting myself? Am I really just spending and spilling my energy in such a way that of course it's not going to yield what I really want inside? Like, I ain't trying to get on you, but we've all been there. And so the question is, how many more years are you going to keep doing that? Right? So, yes, Margareta says, letting go like on a super uber level. That's what that whole unplug and go paint your nails is. And so, okay, maybe you don't want to go paint your nails. And of course, I know, guys, you may not be nail painters, but you can also unplug and get out into nature. You can unplug and do some other self-care, like taking a hot bath or taking the time to like chop vegetables and make yourself a really nourishing meal. You know, there's so many experts, and including Einstein himself, who said when he had a tough problem to solve, he would go out in his rowboat and then he would lay and just look up at the sky, unplugging, and then all of a sudden he would get these flashes of insight. So if it's good enough for Einstein, don't you think it's good enough for you? I'm just saying. I mean, come on now, right? So we need to unplug and stop with the crazy making. Because the other piece of this is, Sinitra says she needs real talk. Okay, I feel you. And Jacqueline says, it's what's needed, Andrea. I see too many to get stuck in their excuses. Yeah, I see that way too often. And I've done it too. Jacqueline's admitting it. She says she's done it also. It depends on what's going on in our lives. But once we make those changes, it feels so good. And yeah, tough talk at times is, sometimes it's what we need. And Sinitra says, get on me. I'm good with it. Yeah. And you know what, Margareta, we don't have to stay aligned 24/7. You know, I love your hashtag honesty. Margareta says you find it challenging. Well, I do too. But the thing that you do is if you do some of these accountability reviews, whether you do it on a weekly basis, a monthly basis, I don't recommend that you wait till a year, because when you wait for a whole year, you don't take action. But if you do a weekly review, it's fine if you took one day to go to the movies, or one day to go to the spa, or one day where you just sat on the couch and looked out at the rain falling. That's okay if it's 1 or 2 days here and there. But when you notice that there's weeks going by where you're not doing what you need for yourself, not just for whatever you're trying to accomplish, but just for yourself, it's what we need. It's what we need to do. So Sinitra says you have such a huge audience, and once you get there, you will impact lots of people. Well, so be it, Sinitra. You know, let this be the year that you do that. Take those steps. Because I remember you saying that to me last year, like you could see you were starting to get these visions or these feelings that you were going to be doing motivational speaking. And how many people in our tribe have been feeling that? Like there is this bubbling and this tingling that's saying we are meant for higher potential. We are meant to be fulfilling more of our potential. And I get it. Sometimes it's not clear. You just feel like there's a change coming. I don't know what it is. And so a lot of what I've been working on lately is, I've mentioned this before, but I'm hosting the Burnout Recovery Survival Guide. I'm hosting a series of masterclasses for coaches and healers, people in transition, and light workers, so that we can all make sure that we are taking care of this vessel, mind, body, and spirit, so that we can be as effective as we want to be in this life. And what it's had me doing is I've been interviewing some of my dear friends and colleagues. My background comes from treating trauma and treating addiction. So I have all these beautiful friends who are experts in resilience and neuroscience and Chinese medicine and age management. So I was shooting, Trevor was with us. We were shooting out in California with Dr. Juicy Jill Stocker and Dr. Michael Dow and Dr. Michael Carragher from The Body Well. And then I interviewed my dear friend and colleague, Karen Joy Almond, and just really getting into these concepts about what do we need to do to really thrive so that we do have these insights of clarity, so that we can trust our intuition, so that we know what that next right step is. And one of the things that I noticed is we can spend a lot of our energy in frantic overdoing, like busy work. And here's the thing, if we don't learn how to unplug and go within, surrender, trust, do whatever you need to do to connect. I don't know what that is for you. You need to know what that is for you. Lately around here, we've been doing yoga and meditation and qigong. And now, we've been doing a lot of EAMing. So those of you who need a refresher, you can do Yvette Taylor's EAM course. It's totally free. It's the 5 days to flow. And you'll soon have a full guide from her as we are publishing her book. Dun, 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 the ultimate self-help book. But one of the things that I recognized is when we stay in busy work and the overdoing, what happens in the brain is our brain perceives it as a threat. Our brains literally think, why is she freaking out? Is there like a tiger coming around the corner? Is there a bear that's about to come get us? What is it? When we stay in this mode of thinking, I've got to figure it out, I've got to do something, I've got to take care of everyone. And listen, I'm not pointing any fingers except at myself because I have been guilty of this. This is what happened when I said earlier this year, I unplugged by force. And I realized in my own mind, I was running myself ragged. And here's what that does. That puts the brain in the fight, flight, freeze, or appease. I know some of y'all just call it fight or flight. But did you know that the stress response really goes through these 4 different types of reactions in us? When you're stressed, meaning when there is some pressure on you, and of course it might be the pressure we put on ourselves internally, when you have pressure on you or demands on you or on your time that you feel you're not capable of handling, our brain goes into the fight, flight, freeze, or appease. So fight, you get it. Somebody attacks you or you feel threatened, you have a reaction to fight. Fight off that bear, right? Or freeze. Some people, when they get confronted, they just freeze. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to say. It's like the deer in the headlights. Some people feel the need to run. They just run away. So, it's the fight, it's the flight, meaning run, freeze. But here's the other one. It's appease. Some people, when they are stressed, they try to take care of everyone else, especially if there is someone else that's causing their stress. They will try to do everything they can to appease that person. They'll cook for them. They'll butter them up. They'll do everything so that they won't attack them or leave them or whatever. But the longer that you stay in that frantic state of mind, your lower brain, the reptilian part of your brain, will shut down the higher brain centers. And it's our prefrontal cortex, it's our neocortex, these higher brain centers that give us the clarity of focus and concentration. They give us the motivation to act in alignment with our heart and our desires. You don't want to be acting out of that crazy, frustrated, freak out part of your brain. Is this making sense, or is this too much neuroscience? Should I save it for my masterclass series? This is why I want you to unplug. So Margareta, what have you said? She says, we need to talk about your speech for September. Oh, congratulations, auguri. I'm so happy that you've been chosen for this speak, and you're going to share your awesome sauce there. Yes, I would love that. We need to talk about it, darling. Yes. And so you're saying it's also the same thing that stops labor. So Margareta is this lovely midwife who works in Milano, Italy, and also does hypnobirthing, but she just got a download of a vision when we were together in Alicante that is huge. So, wow. Anyway, so much. Yes, we have to explore that, my dear Margareta. I can't wait. That's going to be awesome. And so, yes, Sinitra, fight, flight, freeze, or appease. Some people will find themselves eating donuts. They're trying to appease their own crazy energy. So they find themselves binge eating or smoking a lot or surfing the web or shopping or relationship hopping or whatever. And so the bottom line is, if you stay in that cycle, you're going to find that your all of your stress hormones continue to rise, which impacts the brain. It creates a perfect setup for depression, for anxiety, for memory problems. It causes disharmony in your relationships because you're putting off into your energy field this crazy, frenetic, negative energy that is only going to piss other people off or attract even more drama into your life. And so recognizing that the elevated stress hormones affects the brain, and the longer that you stay in that space of craziness, the longer that it's going to impact your health and your well-being. We know that high cortisol levels impact the immune system, the heart and the circulatory system, increasing the risk of heart attacks, infections, strokes, diabetes, cancer, and yes, Alzheimer's. And so we have got to take back control over our own vitality and our own life force energy. It's the whole reason that, for me, I feel like, hello, Efke, I feel like what happened to me, to get back to Jatinder's point about sometimes life is a big mess and it looks messy and it's really painful, but sometimes it's happening for our benefit. And I know that may sound like some positive malarkey, boo-woo, wah-wah, but the reality is, when I came through that miserable period at the beginning of the year, and I really looked at what am I doing and what did I say I really wanted to do, I realized I almost burnt out. And I had experienced burnout many years in the past. So here I am working with these high achievers and Hollywood stars. How am I going to burn out? That don't make no sense. I'm trying to keep them from burning out, and I'm about to burn out? And it was like, no, Andrea, you are not. This is not happening. And, I had to do all of that self-love and self-care work that I teach and I preach. I had to live it. But here's the gift in all of that. Many of you know, I've said this before, that while I was in Alicante, Spain, speaking at the European Transformational Teachers Gathering, thanks to the lovely Steiner Ditlevson and his wife, Eva Andrea, I got to share on stage a little bit more of the visions that I had been downloading from the divine. And I realized that if I had kept going in the way things were going prior to that crazy rupture, I would not be aligned with my real vision. I wouldn't have been in the position I am today to sit here with you, honestly, openly, sharing from the heart, the programs, the interviews, and the products that I know can help all of us become these clear channels of light and love, to beam from our heart the energy that we want to see in the world, elevating the vibration, raising the consciousness of our planet. If I hadn't had an almost breakdown and burnout and really go within and I was forced to look at what can I do, what should I do, and what can I let go. And when I surrendered and went within, that's when it was like, no, baby, you need to be doing what you really need to be doing. And I've told the story about how I shared with Trevor, who's, here with us. I told him, I was in that moment of surrender. And it's like, well, what I really want to do is bring the sort of products, the nutritional supplements and the programs and the teaching that shows all of us how to take back control, how to have conscious control over your life force energy. Because you're not your body, but your body as a precious vessel or the vehicle for your soul to be on this planet doing the work. You need to keep your body, and especially your brain, as tuned up as you possibly can. And so as a result of all of that, boom, now Innate Vitality, this new company that we have just launched, that we're bringing to the world to help all of our light workers, coaches, and healers really claim control over your life and your vitality, and learn to do what the Chinese masters have been saying for thousands of years. And that is, you can be the master of your body and brain. You can be the master of your life force energy. This life force doesn't have to be going through us crazy and getting us sick. This energy that flows through our body and through the heavens and through the earth, this energy is something that we can live in harmony with. And when we live in harmony with the energy of our body and our environment, when we set ourselves up for success, aligning our work and our play and our relationships in such a way that we feel the flow, then we can direct that life force energy in ways that bring us more life, that help us to flourish and thrive. And so that's what it's been for me in these last few months, is going back to my roots and my basics in longevity medicine and hormone management, and really looking at what's going on in the brain and our adrenals, and going back to the roots of Chinese medicine and the 5 elements with the acupuncture practice that I had, and really recognizing that we can have this conscious, aware presence of mind to direct our energy flow. And that means we can take in the energy from the environment. You know, with Qigong, we open up and we receive this healing universal Qi. But you've also got to surrender and let go. You've got to let go so that you can release the energy, the beliefs, the patterns that no longer serve you. And when we do that, when we're willing to open and close, when we're willing to receive and release, we get clarity. We get insight. We get creativity. We get a greater sense of intuition and faith. We get downloads from the divine, because we live in a field of energy and information. You know, this divine matrix, or whatever you want to call it. We live in a world that is a web of interconnected energy and information. So you get energy, of course. We know what that feels like. But the information that's in our field is something that we can access. It's something that we can tap into. And the best way to do that is to have that clarity of mind, to allow that stress response to come down, to make that reptilian part of the brain quiet again, so that we can hear from the heart, so that we can connect from the soul. And that's what's possible for you. So I hope that this little conversation, or this rant, it's been a rant, let's just be honest. I hope that this has been somewhat inspiring or enlightening, and inviting you to really go within and check yourself, as we say, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Because there's no reason that we all cannot be experiencing the ultimate feelings that we want, that love, that bliss, that sense of expansion, and yes, that peace that even if we don't know what to do right now, we can trust. We can trust that this is temporary. This moment of confusion is temporary. It never lasts forever. I mean, look over your life. Have you been confused and crazy for all of your life? Or have there been moments of clarity? So this is where I want to help you get unstuck, Sinitra. This is where I want you to tap into the resources, tap into the resources that you know. I've put, me personally, and many of the people in our tribe, we've put countless resources available online. But the problem is many people get them. You get the free downloads and you look at stuff but then many of us don't actually put it into practice. So I said this to somebody recently, like, I get it. You're on a bunch of Facebook groups. You've got a bunch of courses and summits and all this stuff coming in. And yet you're so confused because you have overwhelm. Pick one. Pick one thing and see it through to completion. Like, you have got to be a steward over this life that you've been given. It hasn't been given to somebody else. Your life is yours. You are meant to be in control of this vessel, which means we have got to take back that responsibility. So for those of you who are interested, you can join me at the Inner Bliss for Outer Glow. I'm going to be in Scotts Valley, California, at the 1440 Multiversity, which is a beautiful place in the redwood forest of California. So Scotts Valley is kind of near San Francisco. That's where I'll be flying in. And, we have this 5-day retreat along with the beautiful Karina Virginia, who is this Kundalini yoga empowerment guru. And we go deep. On this course, this retreat, everything is taken care of. You're in this beautiful setting, beautiful grounds, delicious food. I mean, no drama if you're gluten-free and you need vegan. It's like delicious and all taken care of. So that when you're in your retreat space with us, everything's taken care of and you can go deep and get to the root cause of your stuff. All of the programs that I have committed to going forward, because I dropped some commitments. Everything I'm doing now with Innate Vitality, this new company, with all of the retreats and workshops I'm doing, are about helping you get to the root cause of whatever is blocking you and to get the root of your soul to be connected to the vision for what you really want to create in your life. And so what we're doing in California is the inner bliss. We're getting you to a space where you can feel that inner bliss again and find out what's blocking it so that you can reconnect to it. Healing old trauma, getting rid of some of those belief patterns, those habits that have kept you stuck. And I can't think of a better place to do it. And, me and Karina are two teachers who absolutely love our work, love going deep. When we did this back in February, it was truly transformational for all of us, not just the participants, but for me and Karina as well. So I'm so honored that I get to do this course again with Karina at 1440 Multiversity, September 23rd through the 28th in Scotts Valley, California. So all of the information, if you want to join us, you can do that. I would love that. So join us. There's no reason why you can't. And let's see, what else? Oh, I forgot to put this on the screen for you. I think it's going to be a funny color. Yeah, that's very hard to read, isn't it? Yeah, sorry about that. The Inner Bliss, Outer Glow. La, la, la. Let's see. Oh, well. I put it already in the chat, so you have the link there. The other thing that I mentioned is I will be in the United States, in Miami. We are doing the Real Self-Love Days in Miami with a focus on confidence. How do you live with confidence as your authentic self? After the huge success of the Real Self-Love Days, we did a 2-day event in Copenhagen just a few weeks ago with my beautiful co-founder, Helena Philipson. We really, really got the confirmation that the real self-love movement is what we all need, And so we are doing it in America. Isn't that exciting? I think we're also going to do it in London. I'm not going to put those dates out there, but it looks like October we'll be doing Real Self-Love Days, a 2-day event in London. And then for those of you that want to join us in Miami, we will be in Miami November 17th and 18th, so you can come celebrate my birthday. But you can also celebrate with me and about 20 or 30 of our authors, because we are doing a special book release and book signing, and authors from our books, Life After Trauma, Time to Rise, Maybe Turning Points authors will be coming in from Denmark. And, of course, the Magic and Miracles book. Magic and Miracles book comes out in November. And so we are doing book signings and book launch parties. And I'm so excited. And October 22nd in London, Margareta is, that's the Diamond Life Design preview event. And it looks like if we do Real Self-Love Days, it's going to be on the 25th and 26th in London of October. And for those of you who want to learn how to speak from the heart and be a captivating speaker on stage, the 20th and the 21st in London, is that right? Yeah. Saturday and Sunday with a Friday night VIP night, I will be in London doing my Speak from the Heart authentic speaker training, which is going to be awesome sauce because we're helping people really learn how to get over their fear, connect with the audience on a deep soul level, heart level, brain level, so that you can get ready for your TED Talk or for your keynotes or to host your own events. I love, love, love it, and that's what we're going to be doing. So, my friends, I don't want to take any more of your day, especially because some of you are joining me for the Personal Branding Bootcamp Q&A in exactly 4 minutes. That's right. My Personal Branding Bootcamp is an online course where I teach you how to build an authentic personal brand. And then every month I get on Zoom so that I can give Q&A feedback. I can put you on the miracle hot seat. We can dissect and look at your website or your content. It's awesome. People have done such amazing things with building their branded presence online, from their website, from their speaker materials, from getting books done. I love it. So I got to pop off because I need to go over there. I need to get some water for my throat. So my friends, please know that I love you. And I mean that when I say it. I love you. I wish you so much success and so much joy in your life. Please know that all of the resources that you would need, just visit realself.love or andreapennington.com. You can join the Real Self-Love movement for free. realself.love or visit andreapennington.com. I've got guided meditations. I've got audiobooks, ebooks, everything for free. So cost is not an issue, but you just need to commit and actually do something so that you can make the progress in your life that you deserve. And when you take care of yourself like you deserve, then you, out of your overflow and abundance, can share with more people around the world. Because we need you. We need you living at your best. So stay tuned. Hello, Ninette, one of our beautiful authors in the books. So good to connect with you. We need you. We need you living at your full potential. And I'm doing everything in my power to help you get there. So stay tuned for the Burnout Recovery Survival Guide. You will see some links to sign up for that starting on Monday. Totally free. I'm going to go into a lot of neuroscience, but a lot of the other stuff that helps you build resilience and bounce back after confusion and energy depletion. So my friends, remember that you are a gift to the world. So share your presence with passion. Much love. See you.